Hi everyone, this is Jonelle with Titan Therapy. I just want to do a quick in-service or a tutorial on Kinnser's progress to goals. This is a new thing that we're seeing only through a few of our companies right now. Only if they're Kinnser companies and only if they're Kinnser companies that subscribe to progress to goals. So right now I think Kinnser is testing this out on the agency manager level. I believe it's going to come to us as therapy manager from what I'm hearing through the grapevine and through my conversations with Kinnser. For now, it's not quite as user-friendly as it will be, but in the interim, until we get it on our end, we need to be able to use it and use it effectively. So here we go. I'm going to show you, this is a patient that already has a PT evaluation in place, and I'm going to go in and add in an OT evaluation just to give you guys an idea about what the goals would look like and how to use that progress to goals button. First and foremost, if and when you get or see this, if you do not click on this, that means you will not have goals or interventions for your patient. So if you see the blue button, you have to click the blue button. If not, we have an ineffective eval that would get kicked back because we have no way to show our progress or show what our plan really is. So if you see this, you have to click it. If any of our assistants go in to see a patient and this hasn't been done, they have nothing to go by. So just know that. If you see the blue, you have to deal with the blue. Okay, so we're going to click in here. I say that. When we click goals and interventions, it will save everything that you've already worked on so you won't ever lose your work. Okay, now in this case, we have PT's already been seeing the patient. So that's kind of nice for you to be able to see what's going on with PT. They've got a bunch of goals in here. They've addressed, this is an older chart that I just pulled, but they've addressed some goals. Some things were met, some things were not met. Patient ended up going in the hospital. That's why we don't see anything else going on here. But this is no OT goals or interventions have been assigned, so we need to assign a new goal. If we were on the agency manager end, you would be able to click this and scroll down and pick a problem like maybe ADLs or balance or whatever, strength. But since we're therapy end, we don't get to see that. We also can't search for anything because there's nothing that ties us to, documents that already have that pre-filled. No goals are available. So if we were agency manager end, or when they push this fully to therapy manager end, this all makes it very, very simple. For now, you have to free text. Okay, so this is our first goal. You have to pick a date. I'm just ad-libbing, picking something. Never do by the end of the episode because they hate that. They meaning reviewers. I still like to label my goals. Short-term goal number 1. And then you have to put in free text like we do right now. So it's really no different. It's just how it's formatted right now. Patient to tolerate sitting, edge of bed, unsupported with standby assist for balance to allow progress toward independent with dressing. All right, sorry OTs if that's a terrible OT goal. I'm going to assign it. Okay, so now we have our first goal, just like we normally and always have. The only thing is here, we have to put in interventions, and that is one thing. If you don't click interventions, those are the check boxes that we see typically. If we were agency manager end, we'd be able to just quickly click, click, click. Here we have to free text. So what are your interventions to be able to achieve this goal? Well, we're going to do some balance training. We might put some ADL training in there, safety training, and maybe some core strengthening. All right, and we can assign it. So whereas now we check box for those interventions, at this point with therapy progress to goals, we have to just type it out. Intervention completed versus performed. I'm going to say that we performed it here, right? Because I started with it. I chatted with the patient, the caregiver. Yeah, we need a lot of reinforcement. This is optional, but here we go. We're going to initiate balance training at edge of bed. And I'm going to submit that. So that is when you click that, that's showing your skill for the visit, which they need. Okay, so that's one goal done. And again, we can click on that. Feel free to click on anything like pluses and these little tabs, and it just tells you what's been going on. Okay, new goal. I'm going to go through this really quickly for you guys. So that we're going to put a date in the future. I guess we're at end assert. Let's pretend that's a future date, long-term goal. I'd like to label mine 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. We're going to assign that. Okay, so there's a short-term goal, and again, those dates would be, target date. Those dates would be much different, just this is for an example. Okay, new intervention, I can't click there to make it easy, I have to free text it. So in this one, I'm gonna O2 sat monitoring. Remember, if you do O2 saturation, O2 sats, you have to have the okay from the doctor to do it. Per licensure, per Medicare. So put this always in somewhere. And maybe on this goal, we're also going to do ADL training and kitchen. I'm sorry, what is that? IADL? Forgive me, OTs. We're going to assign that. And then I have my goal. I have my interventions. I'm going to perform something. I chatted more with the caregiver on this one because patient was tired. Initiate training regarding needed supplies and adaptive equipment, whatever. Okay, and submit that. So every patient needs at least one short-term, one long-term, and then of course, because of the new use free text, because of the new COPs, we also have to have a patient goal. Those for me are typically long-term, and I like to really shout out to the reviewers' patient goal. And maybe that is patient to perform bathing. No, patient to perform waltz with spouse at independent level times 2 minutes without loss of balance or shortness of breath to allow wedding anniversary activity, whatever. But really, patient goals should be something that's very applicable to that patient. We're going to assign that. We're going to add an intervention to that. We have to free text it. And then our free text is standing balance, weight shift balance activities with ADL. I don't know. You guys are OTs. You do better than me on that. Alrighty. We're going to assign that. Good. I didn't perform that, so I'm just going to put it unperformed. That'll be something we do later. And then that's all that you have to do. So now then, again, this shows how many times it was performed. There it was performed once. There it was never performed. All right, once you get this done and you've put in all the goals you want, push return. Finish out your note and submit it. All right, and then I will do another quick tutorial to show what that looks like on the daily visit end. Just remember, if you see this, you must click it and you must put in functional goals and interventions like we always have. All right, thanks so much.